Netflix is really shifting into a higher gear for 2026 and beyond. A wave of big-budget sequels, new seasons of beloved series, and brand new stories is on the way. From action to sci-fi, fantasy to detective stories, Netflix isn't just producing content this time, it's building its own universes. In this video, we're going to break down the biggest upcoming Netflix projects one by one, from The Gray Man 2 to One Piece Season 2, Extraction 3, and Havoc 2. Before we jump in, a quick reminder, if you enjoy videos about films and TV series like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. The Gray Man 2. Ryan Gosling returns as Sierra 6 in The Gray Man 2, and this sequel aims to raise the stakes far beyond the first film. After exposing the CIA's darkest secrets, 6 is no longer just a target, he's a symbol of everything the agency wants erased. The story is reportedly inspired by On Target by Mark Greaney, promising a more intense, global, and morally complex mission. What makes this sequel even more interesting is its emotional core. 6's connection to Fitzroy's daughter becomes a key motivation, while returning characters like Avi Khan and Donnie Miranda help expand the universe. With the Russo brothers expected to return and Netflix planning spin-offs, this franchise is clearly being built for the long run. Extraction 3. Tyler Rake is back, and Extraction 3 picks up right after the intense ending of the second film. Tyler and Nick are offered a dangerous new mission by a mysterious figure, but this time the operation feels different. There's no clear enemy, no simple rescue, just layers of secrecy and a threat that feels bigger than anything Tyler has faced before. What sets Extraction 3 apart is its stronger focus on character alongside action. Idris Elba's role expands, the true mastermind behind the missions is expected to be revealed, and Tyler's past may finally catch up with him. According to early comments from the creators, strategy and emotional conflict will matter just as much as brutal combat, pushing Tyler to his absolute limits. One Piece Season 2. With its second season, One Piece is raising the bar in a serious way. The Straw Hat crew is finally stepping into the Grand Line, marking the beginning of a much harsher journey, both physically and emotionally. The route from Logtown to Drum Island will be a period where characters confront their pasts and are truly put to the test. With the introduction of Smoker, Dr. Kureha, and one of the most anticipated characters, Tony Chopper, the world expands significantly. In the background, the growing threat of Baroque works signals a much larger conflict on the horizon. Oda's direct involvement in the production process shows that this season won't just be bigger, but also far more faithful to the source material. Back in Action 2. The first film unexpectedly blended action and family comedy surprisingly well, and Back in Action laid a strong foundation for a sequel. While there's no official announcement yet, statements from both the director and producers make it clear that this story will continue. This time, Matt and Emily won't just be running from their past, they'll be thrown directly into the center of an international threat. In the sequel, Emily's past will be explored in much greater depth. Secrets surrounding her father add emotional weight to the story, while family dynamics move further into the spotlight. With Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz's chemistry once again at the center, the children are expected to take on more active roles, potentially making the action more intense and the story more personal. Murder Mystery 3. For Nick and Audrey Spitz, vacation once again turns into chaos. Murder Mystery 3 begins with the major unanswered question from the second film, the pilot who escaped by helicopter and the millions that vanished. This time, the story promises much more than solving a new murder. Unresolved grudges and unexpected betrayals take center stage. Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston's energy remains the heart of the film. While the comedic tone is preserved, Nick and Audrey's marriage may be seriously tested this time. With new characters, new locations, and a more complex mystery, the series aims to raise the stakes in both laughs and surprises. Enola Holmes 3 is preparing to take the series to its most mature point yet. This time, Enola finds herself in the dark and complicated streets of Malta, caught in a case that tests not only her intelligence, but her emotional resilience as well. She's no longer just a curious young detective, she now has to live with the consequences of her decisions. As Enola's relationship with Tewksbury deepens, the presence of Sherlock Holmes and Eudoria expands the story into a broader universe. The danger feels more real, the risks are higher, and the tone is noticeably darker than in previous films. This makes the third entry the most ambitious chapter of the series so far. Atlas II approaches its story on a much larger scale this time. The first film focused on distrust toward artificial intelligence and the human-machine relationship. In the sequel, that conflict evolves into a threat capable of shaping humanity's future. Atlas is no longer just trying to survive, she's forced to make decisions that could define what comes next. With Jennifer Lopez returning both as the lead and as a producer, the film's tone is expected to be darker and more serious. Atlas isn't alone this time, but that doesn't make the situation any less dangerous. As the line between AI logic and human intuition continues to blur, the film focuses not only on action, but also on the characters' inner conflict. The Union 2. The first film intentionally left its story open-ended, clearly paving the way for a sequel, and The Union 2 is ready to fill in those gaps. As Mike continues his life as an agent, the consequences of a major betrayal are felt more deeply than ever. The concept of trust becomes something both the characters and the organization itself must question. In the sequel, the relationship between Mike and Roxanne takes on greater importance while the cracks within the Union continue to grow. What Nick Faraday left behind may reveal that the organization isn't as clean as it once seemed. By putting more emphasis on character development alongside action, The Union 2 could stand out from typical spy sequels. Heart of Stone 2 places Rachel Stone in an entirely new position. In the first film, she was part of an AI-driven system. This time, she becomes a leader who questions the rules and forges her own path. With the future of the charter organization uncertain, a much larger and more complex global threat emerges. Themes of loyalty, control, and human intuition are explored far more strongly in the sequel. Rachel is no longer just the best agent in the field, she's someone who must make the right calls under extreme pressure. The trust issues created by new team members and returning enemies push the story beyond a standard spy thriller into a more strategic, character-focused narrative. Havoc 2 is set to dive even deeper into the dark legacy left by the first film. Detective Walker continues to carry the cost of his war against a corrupt system, but this time he faces a threat directly tied to his past. The story keeps exposing how deeply rotten the criminal world is, not just on the streets, but at the highest levels of power. While Gareth Evans' brutal and stylized action remains intact, the sequel places greater emphasis on the psychological weight carried by its characters. Walker is no longer fighting just criminals, he's battling his own conscience. With Tom Hardy's performance at the center, Havoc 2 aims to deliver not just an action sequel, but a dark, intense, and unsettling portrait of a broken city. As you can see, Netflix isn't leaving anything to chance heading into 2026. A packed lineup of strong franchises, ambitious sequels, and darker, more mature stories awaits us. Some projects stand out with pure action, while others aim to make an impact through character depth and storytelling. So which one are you most excited for? The action of Extraction 3, the grand line journey in One Piece, or the dark atmosphere of Havoc 2? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.